Okay, in 2015, I was duly elected to be the chairman of the Libertarian Party of Broward County affiliate, basically. We had worked up into having a good following of people that would show up at the monthly meetings. I had established ourselves not only having the bank account and being registered with sunbiz.org, but we were also able to process credit card donations. So I am proud to let everyone know that I'm the one that actually set that up with, well, it's primitive. I use the little square device, and many people, as you know, don't always carry around cash. So if they went to our meetings, that they would actually have a good opportunity if they really wanted to donate, instead of the oh well, I don't have any cash on me now, reason for weaseling out. We had gotten the meetings to be pretty productive, or at least popular, in the sense of we had 40 to 50 people showing up on a monthly basis. And we had secured a wonderful meeting place, the Church of Perpetual Life in Hollywood, Florida. So that was a really good place. It had like a stage, it had an auditorium. So I had plenty of good ideas, and I was working towards building up the cash, in the bank, so we could actually do things. Well, I had a lot of ideas, such as let's have some dinners, let's charge a little bit of admission, let's have some giveaways. Hey, why not we go to a gun range? Why don't we like sell merchandise and whatnot? But unfortunately, nobody contributed, and nobody participated in that. The only participation that I would receive was from naysayers that were elected in the party, saying, "Oh well, I don't like that," and then I'm like, well, "Okay, great. Well, what should you do instead?" And crickets. So, with that being said, we were growing, and unfortunately, during 2015, the director of communications, Alex Fidel, refused to turn over the logins for the Facebook page, which I had built up, and I had gotten us hundreds of additional likes that we never had before, even from people I knew that were not even in Florida. So it was, definitely an experience doing that. And up to that time, and in 2014 as well, we would have guest speakers show up. Believe it or not, one of the guest speakers was this guy, Andrew Kaufman. I think his name is Andrew, but I know his last name was Kaufman. He was running for the congressional seat held by Debbie Wasserman I Know Nothing Schultz. But yet, he was invited to speak at a monthly Libertarian Party meeting. So that was interesting, to say the least. Which brings me to 2015. One of the main reasons why I have left is simply because of the Saul Augustus Invictus era of the Libertarian Party. Now, for those of you who don't know who the sun god is, he went to school to be a lawyer. He's a pagan. Reportedly, he drank goat's blood. And he has become, since then, far right with, eugenics and whatnot. Although he doesn't trust the state to actually carry out eugenics. I don't blame him for that. But there was a lot of flack and a lot of publicity going into that year. Oh, the goat killer, and oh, he's a white supremacist, when he really wasn't. He really isn't. So as a chairman, I thought I would give him the opportunity to defend himself and speak. I mean, after all, we have Republicans that are speaking at our monthly, events in our monthly meeting. So why not have an actual libertarian come and speak? Well, yeah. No sooner did I get that going than Alex Fidel, who for some reason or another was the only person that was given the combination to the lockbox to open up the Church of Perpetual Life. He just flat out refused to let. He says, "Bill, if he speaks, I'm not letting you let him in." So, we have that, which I know that's a violation of some form of the of some bylaws. I'm not sure if it's a violation of election law, but it is what it is. So anyway, so we had that going, and then Omar Recusio. Okay, that's another one that was like, I don't want to hear from Invictus. And then the other thing, which I found to be a bit, sad and pathetic, was that in that year, Invictus ran for Senate for Marco Rubio's seat. He was challenged by Paul Stanton, some mysterious figure who since left the party as well. So there was the opportunity to have an actual libertarian primary, which would have been interesting. However, Paul Stanton refused to debate. So there is no debate. And the only reason that Saul and Invictus was defeated was because Paul Stanton came out and says, "Hey, vote for me. I'm not Invictus." That was basically all that was needed for him to win the nomination. And then he got crushed horribly. I think he got maybe less than 2% in the general election. But then there is Adrian Wiley, okay, who actually helped campaign for when he ran for governor in 2014. With Adrian Wiley, once he found out, with him and his little Paul Stanton entourage, once they found out that I wanted Invictus to speak at the monthly meeting, for some strange reason, Adrian Wiley blocked me on Facebook. I have the distinct honor of being the only. He's the only politician I've ever voted for who blocked me on social media. Yeah, and what ended up happening in 2015 as well was the infiltration of Antifa and far leftists that were going into the party and basically hijacked the party. It literally got down to the point where the Libertarian Party of Florida actually wanted to use all of its money to sue and remove Invictus from being in the party, rather than, grow the party or whatever. So, we have that. Then I left the party for, personal reasons or whatnot. And I kept getting all of these letters from the IRS, meaning they hadn't even bothered to do their paperwork, the new committee or whatever. And so, I'm like, guys, take care of this. I have the IRS documents. They were actually forwarded to me from the former treasurer Sandy Kopowitz, who just left the party. He was with it for years, and naturally he retired. I understand that. So anyway, moving forward, I would get all these IRS letters, and then apparently, right after my watch, they lost the bank account. They didn't even bother to, ask me for the Square, the credit card processor, and nor did they even bother to get another one. And so they pissed away all the money that I had left for them, which was over $2,000. I kept trying to get a straight answer because I wanted to come back to the party in, for 2017. But here's what happened. Omar Recusio and Alex Fidel, what they did was, and they failed to understand this, nor did they even care, was the Libertarian Party of Broward's Constitution says the election is supposed to be held for executive committee in November. Well, September, not a peep. October of the 2000, not a peep. November rolls around. Nothing. I'm like, guys, you're supposed to have an election here. Oh, well, we don't want to have an election because people are busy during the holidays. That's actually what they said. So they went and tried to do it in February or March, which is a direct violation of the Constitution. Even Carl Dickey, the regional, he went along with this as well. Not only that, but at the meeting to have the election, they even let non-registered libertarians vote, just so they can deny me the opportunity to be to return to being in the chairman. So, not only that, but Omar Recusio, he changed all the bylaws, but from going from election every year to having the election every 2 years, and by basically making it to where they cannot be removed for any reason. So, if you look at Sunbiz, there is no Broward County Libertarian Party. So, since that time, what is it now, 2022? They still have not even gotten their act together. I'm not receiving any more mail from the IRS over IRS Form 990 or 790 or whatever it is. But, so yeah, so that's basically it, trust me, I've got better things to do with my life than to be dealing with this horse shit. So, that's part one of why I don't participate anymore. I was asked, there's your answer. So, I mean, in philosophical terms, I still identify as libertarian, but as far as actually going back into the fray and actually dealing with this nonsense again, it's Oh, and then there's one other thing. I had plans for us to go to the Florida Constitutional Revision Commission meetings, which only happen every 20 years, because I wanted to improve upon the ballot access we had achieved in the last round, which happened in 97 and 1998. Of course, that fell on deaf ears, because I was tired of us running candidates to get 1% of the vote, not being in the debates. They should be, all candidates, what party, whatever, should be treated fairly. But that was not the case either. So what ended up happening, basically, is they all ignored me. They had better things to do, focused on things that mean nothing now. And then the revision commission meeting for prior to 2020, that came up and it went. Not a peep out of them. So I figured, well, let's improve upon the ballot access thing here. Let's get equal treatment. Let's be included in the debates so we can spend what little money we have on advertising, instead of trying to spend all our money just to get on the ballot and pay the $10,000 you need to be on the ballot, or collect 50,000 signatures, which is never going to happen. So basically, that's what happened. That ship has passed. You'd have to wait literally another 20 years before you can even do that. And by then, who knows? The earth could be a smoking wreckage, So that's my story about why I am not involved in the Libertarian Party. Hey, I was asked, but it is what it is. I wish you all the best of luck.